Hello, my name's Liz, and in this lesson I would like to look at some useful vocabulary to help you write about maps for IELTS Writing Task 1 academic paper. Although it is not common to get maps, they do appear and you do need to prepare and learn how to describe a map. So in this lesson we will look at some basic vocabulary, how to use the key, talking about roads and rail, writing about population, and I will also give you a link so that you can see a Band Score 9 model map report for Writing Task 1. Well, let's start and we'll have a look at some basic vocabulary for maps. When you get a map in IELTS Writing Task 1, you need to describe the location of things on the map. Now you can see we have a map here, and it's a map of a town called Dartford. And there are two places on the map, there's A and B. And you can also see we have a little symbol here. And that's a symbol to tell us that directly up, vertically, is north. So of course these are called compass points. And you need to use the compass points to describe the location of A and B. So here we've got the compass, we've got north, east, south and west. You can also have northeast, that's here, or southeast. You can have northwest and also southwest. So that's the vocabulary. Let's put that in a sentence so that we can describe the location of B. And here we have a sentence to describe the location of B. B is located northeast of Dartford. And you can see on the map that B is located outside the town. So it's located northeast of Dartford. So here you can see we've got is located. And many students think that that is a past tense and they change it and they put be locates. Please don't do that. This is not a past tense, it's a passive voice. So that is actually in the present. So B is located northeast of Dartford. And of course we don't want to keep repeating is located. We want to change the vocabulary to show the examiner a good range. So you can also say B is situated northeast of Dartford, or B lies northeast of Dartford. Or you can use a very simple verb and just say B is northeast of Dartford. So we've got a few variations that we can use for the verb. Well, let's move on, and I want to have a look at this part of the map, which is the key. Most maps that you will get in IELTS have a key. Not all of them, but many. And you need to look at this key because it will tell you what the information on your map shows. So you need to look at that key before you start writing. So you can see here that the blue area, which is quite large on the map, is the housing area. We've got a white area in the middle here, that's the town centre, and running through the town is the railway line. Now, a few things that we need to pay attention to in the key. Firstly, you can see here that when they give the information in the key, they use capital letters. But when we write, we need to change that to small letters so that it is grammatically correct. Also, another thing is it's not necessary to paraphrase all the words in the key. In fact, some words cannot be paraphrased. So don't worry too much about that. It's normal. But let's have a quick look at possible paraphrases. The first one, housing area. So this large blue area. That could be written as the residential area. And residential area means the area where people live. So that's the same. Town centre. I have many students wanting to paraphrase that. And many students want to change the word town, and they write city centre. But unfortunately, that is wrong. So you cannot use that. A town is a town, a city is a city. A town is smaller than a city, so you cannot paraphrase the word town. So the only other way that we could write town centre would be the centre of the town. So that's the only other way. But really, you will need to use those words. It's fine. And of course, this symbol here is a railway. It's also possible to have roads or main roads. So just take a look at your map. And again, if you have roads, please do not paraphrase them as streets. Roads and streets are not the same thing. Roads are mostly between towns and streets are inside in the city centre. So if it says road in your key, then please write road in your writing for your writing task 1. Right, so that is the key. Now let's look at some more information about maps. And here we have a sentence that gives information about the railway. You can see the railway here running through. The railway runs through Dartford from north to south. And you can see here that the railway starts in the north and runs through the town to the south. And of course, this is all about collocations, which is using the right verb with the noun. So we can say the railway runs through Dartford. We could say it crosses Dartford, it passes through Dartford, or it goes through Dartford. So there are a variety of different verbs that we can use to show the information about railways. And of course, there might be roads on your map. And luckily, we can use the same verbs for roads as well. So that's very useful. Now let's have a look at how to write about population. Not all maps give populations, but if they do, you need to include it in your IELTS Writing Task 1. You can see here that this is the town of Dartford, and you can see here pop. That means population of 60,000. Now I've got 2 different sentences for you. One is the population of Dartford is 60,000, and the other, this is another way to write it. This is quite simple, so this is more complex. B is located northeast of Dartford, which has a population of 60,000. So you can see here I've added it as a clause. You can also say that Dartford has 60,000 inhabitants, or there are 60,000 people living there. So there are a number of different ways to write about population. The other thing to notice is that population is singular, so don't forget that. Now, before I give you a link to see a Band Score 9 model map, let me give you a complex sentence to describe the location of these 2 places using all the language that we've learnt today. And here we have the sentences. A is located in the town centre, which has a railway running through it. B is situated northeast of Dartford, just outside the housing area. So that is how you describe locations on a map for IELTS Writing Task 1. Now let me give you a link so that you can have a look at a Band Score 9 map report and also get other useful IELTS lessons. See you soon.